5 most underrated countries to visit. Have you ever had that urge to go to a place that's undeniably something out of the ordinary? I mean, places where you can still feel like an explorer. One of those countries where old ways of life are very much alive and kicking, right next to some of the most jaw-dropping scenery you have ever seen. Imagine, you're scrolling through your social media, and suddenly you see a friend's post from a place so amazing, so off the beaten path, you just can't help but wonder, where on earth is that? Well, get ready, because we are about to show you not just 1, but 5 of these hidden gems. Well, today is going to uncover some of the world's best-kept travel secrets. Trust me, these spots will blow your mind and make you rethink every vacation you've ever planned. Forget that beaten path. After this, you'll be the travel guru your friends come to for a hint of mystery about a particular place. Buckle up, because we're going to pull back the real, authentic curtain to places most tourists still haven't heard of. It isn't something that will get you to read a new guidebook, but instead the real places that will give you stories for years to come. Are you ready to discover your next adventure? Number 1. Bhutan. Nestled in the eastern Himalayas, Bhutan is a kingdom that measures success in happiness rather than in money. It's the only carbon-negative country in the world, meaning it absorbs more carbon than it can produce. Guilt-free travel comes to mind. First, visit Tiger's Nest Monastery. Snuggling into the cliff 3,000 feet above the Paro Valley in Bhutan, this is the ultimate sacred site, a touch of Bhutanese spirituality and a breathtaking viewpoint. The hike to get here is steep, but the view is worth every one of them. The next stop is Punakha Dzong. Situated between 2 rivers, this is a really large fortress with stunning architecture and history. A real beauty within Bhutan. Considered one of the most beautiful of all the dzongs, with great intricate woodwork and massive prayer halls. And finally, Phobjikha Valley. It is one of the rare habitats of black-necked cranes amidst remarkable untouched natural beauty. The valley is a glacial valley and a conservation area in Bhutan that is indeed a paradise for all nature lovers and bird watchers out there. Bhutan strictly limits tourism in a bid not to destroy its culture and environment, which means less crowds and a more genuine experience for you. The country imposes a daily tourist fee, but it's more than offset by the coverages of accommodation, food, even a local guide. Fun fact, Bhutan is the world's only country where tobacco sales are considered illegal. So if you're thinking of quitting smoking, now you know where to go. Number 2, Georgia. No, not the US state. We are talking about the country situated between Europe and Asia. Georgia offers rich diversity, from snowy Caucasus Mountains to sunny Black Sea shores. A place where you might make it down the slopes skiing in the morning, then sunbathe on black tops by the sea in the afternoon. Our first stop is Tbilisi, the capital city, with Old Town, sulfur baths, and nightlife. Panoramic city views can be enjoyed from the top of the Narikala Fortress, or quirky views at the Reiso Gabriadze Marionette Theater Clock Tower. Next place to see is Kazbegi, mountain town with view of Mount Kazbek and iconic Gurgeti Trinity Church. The drive here along the Georgian Military Highway is an adventure in itself, as the mountains seem to turn every bend. And finally visit Kakheti, the wine region of Georgia, with traditions of winemaking dating back 8,000 years. Visit traditional wineries and taste wine made in Kuvivri, large clay pots buried underground. Iconic Georgian hospitality. Next thing you know, you'll be dragged into a supra, which is essentially a feast in which wine and toasts and stories flow from one end to the other. Just make sure to control your intake. Taking toasts is a Georgian sport, and you can easily gobble dozens in one night. Did you know? Georgia claims it's the cradle of wine, with evidence dated back as far as 6000 BC. That predates the pyramids. Number 3. Uruguay. Often overlooked by its neighboring countries, Uruguay is South America's little gem. It's progressive, stable, and has miles of pristine coastline. And in such a small country comes a big punch with regard to attractions and experiences. First place to see is Colonia del Sacramento. It is the first city in Uruguay, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and quite renowned for cobblestone streets and colorful houses. The lighthouse of Colonia del Sacramento provides amazing views of the Rio de la Plata. Next visit, Cabo Polonio, an isolated little coastal village with no roads, electricity, nor running water. It's like digital detox heaven. one of the biggest sea lion colonies in town, as well as some of the world's biggest sand dunes. Next stop is Montevideo, laid-back capital with a nice balance of Art Deco and colonial architecture. Not to be missed, Mercado del Puerto, an old market stuffed with parrilla grill restaurants that serve some of the best grilled steaks in the country. Another famous Uruguayan product is beef. It counts more cattle than people, which means they can provide wonderful steaks at rather a good price. And for meat itself, they should try a chivito, the national sandwich of Uruguay, stuffed with steaks, mozzarella, bacon, and eggs. Interesting fact, Uruguay was the first country in the world to fully legalize marijuana. It is not possible for tourists to buy it, but it is just an example of a progressive policy of the country. Number 4. Laos. Sometimes, travelers bypass Laos in their Southeast Asia itineraries, but that would mean missing stunning scenery, rich heritage, and some of the most laid-back people on Earth. You must visit Luang Prabang. This UNESCO town is so unique that you could see monks collecting alms at dawn. Visit the night market to collect the local crafts, as well as street food. Next up, Plain of Jars. Mysterious stone jars scattered across the landscape, thousands of years old. The archaeologists still discuss the use of those jars. Maybe they were to carry out some sort of burial rituals, or perhaps to store rice wine. And then see Phandon, 4,000 islands in the Mekong River, so relaxed and full of rare Irrawaddy dolphins. Bike around the car-free island at your own pace on rent. This is Laos at a slow pace. It's an antidote to the chaos of other places in Southeast Asia. Here you really live by the mantra of Bor Pen Yang, which could mean no worries. Fun fact, Laos is actually the most bombed country per capita in history, a result of the Vietnam War. Today, one can visit the COPE Center in Vientiane to learn more about the efforts underway to clear unexploded ordnance and also see what help to survivors exists today. Number 5. Slovenia. Think you know all Europe? A second thought. This is a country smaller than New Jersey that includes everything from the grand alpine peaks to the miles of Adriatic coastline, from storybook castles to all this. Italy, Austria, Croatia. It's as if the best parts of all three were whirled together in a ball. You must see Lake Bled, a fairy tale lake featuring a church-topped island and a medieval castle. Take a traditional Pletna boat to the island in order to ring the wishing bell in the church. Then go to Ljubljana. This lovely capital boasts an efficient car-free center and rich food scenes. The Central Market is a foodie's haven, as is the Triple Bridge, an architectural wonder. And finally, visit Postojna Cave, one of the world's largest karst cave systems with underground train ride. Don't miss the human fish, a blind salamander that lives in the cave waters. Slovenia is at the pinnacle in sustainability tourism because it's the first country declared a green destination. From its eco-friendly accommodations to locally sourced food, Slovenia takes environmental responsibility seriously. Do you know? Slovenia hosts the oldest vine in the world, which has been producing grapes for over 400 years. And indeed, there it grows on the wall of a house in Maribor. Maybe you're just sitting there thinking, I know a place that's even cooler. Terrific! That's the magic of travel. Always another secret spot, always another mind-blowing story just waiting to be lived. Here's my challenge to you. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself in the most incredible place you've never heard of. Now open them. That place exists, and it's out there waiting for you. The bland, been there, done that destinations? Those for everyone else. You are not everyone else. You're a scout, a tale teller, and a memory builder. So what's it going to be? Another ordinary vacation or a journey that will transform you forever? Those off-the-radar places we spoke of? Those are calling your name. And trust me, answering the call might be the best decision you ever make. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon. And we will see you in the next one.